Hello.
Shit, did they hear that?
Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure they did. What up, everyone?
Hello.
Welcome to today's live stream.
Yeah,
I have the sound on for this. I'm pretty sure. I heard my dumb laugh. You ever hear your own voice and hate it? It's fine. Okay. How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are well. I'm gonna move my face out of the way of the chat. If my face is covering up anything really important, let me know. Yes. Hope you're all well. Today we're doing production live stream. I'm gonna answer questions and just generally sound design. I guess we will start off. Oh.
Oh, I think I said mine.
No, that was my sister texting me.
Eric.
I'm gonna start off by showing you guys a concept that I was explaining last night to Sonia. It can be very helpful. It's the idea of randomization. Big up, we got subscribers right now. You guys are awesome. Big up Chase Graves, Lauren Ash. Thank you for subscribing. Let's all learn some stuff. I'm gonna move my camera down a little bit. There we go. Hello. Hi. So yeah, I forget what I was saying, so I'm just gonna start explaining this concept. It's the idea of randomization, and how helpful and awesome it can be. I'm gonna start pretty basic. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a bunch of different effects, and I'm gonna automate a bunch of random parameters all together at the same time, and then I'm gonna put like a stock basic note underneath it, right? So first I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get like a mini. Yeah, that's long enough. Let's do this at 1:45. So I'm gonna make a MIDI note, highlight the area. Did that wrong. Highlight the area. On a PC, it is Control-Shift-M. Double click it to open up the piano roll, or it'll already open. Get a note like that in there. I'm not even gonna play anything back. I'm just gonna like start showing you guys what I mean. So, in terms of randomization, I'm so stoned. My brain keeps freezing because I'm talking to a group of people. There's a bunch of different effects you can do to any sound, really, but I'm going to stack like 4 or 5 of them and automate a bunch of different stuff on them all at once, and I'll just show you like what some of these effects are. And the order in which you do them can also affect things as well. Quick note, what are the chances of Housetronics? Unlikely. I'm terrible at making house music. And I'll turn the desktop down a little bit. Sorry, that was so loud. So anyway, off the bat, what should we do? So I'll do like tonal delay. Turn it all the way up. The sync off. I'm going to also put this in a group so that I can make a macro out of the decay time. And the reason for that being is the decay time on this can very easily, you don't want it, like the usableness of it is pretty much everything under 100, and it goes over that really quickly. So I'm going to set the macro knob to go at like, yeah, like 200, between 100 and 200 milliseconds or something. And then what I'm going to do, Command 4 to turn the grid off. I'm going to grab this, turn pencil mode, press B, then press, oh, you get an automation mode, then press B. It's going to fucking literally randomize that shit, bro. Gonna draw a bunch of stuff, right? Cool. Done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a second thing and I'm gonna automate that. So for the second thing, I'll grab like a frequency shifter and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna like randomize lines. This time I'm doing it with the fine knob. Coarse knob might be a little bit extreme. Yeah, I don't know, that'd be a little bit much. That's gonna do pitching. That's going to change the pitch, and then this is going to change like stereo width and size and tonal delay. So these are the two things that are going to be affecting it, and I'm going to pull them both down so you can see both automation lanes that are going on. These are the two random squiggly boys that I came up with, right? So now I'm going to get a third thing. I haven't even played this back yet to know what it sounds like, but I guess I'll get a grain delay. And I'm in the same sense I'm gonna fuck with this decay time here, because how you affect tonal delay is the decay time of the signal like repeating itself. When it repeats over itself at a certain speed, it creates a certain resonant tonality. So how long that time is where that tone is like pitch wise. So when you change the decay time, it'll effectively be changing the pitch. Hold on, let me bring this back. And now I have one for this decay time as well. So I have two different tonal delays going that are both going to be automating decay time. And remember, you want to turn your feedback up a little bit because that's where that tone comes from, is from it feedbacking over itself. So bing bong. Draw some squigglies. Cool. It's kind of just like random jargled nonsense at the moment. You know what to do? I'm gonna actually... I wonder if I can do this. Will it let me stretch it? Yes, it will. Yes. I'm gonna do that for all of these. It's going a little bit too fast for my liking. That's what's cool about Ableton 10. It's like you can just fucking... The way you can affect and change the automation so large. Like, there's just so many possibilities. I'm actually going to consolidate this and have this go over the whole area. Make this one note. Not doing much yet, but we'll get it to do more. But that's pretty crazy considering this one is going way too fast. Hold on, let's get this one back. Cool. Thank you for subscribing, everybody's. Now we're getting some sort of interestingness. Let's get a notch filter in here. And then, I have an idea. Let's get a... Oh, I don't have it on this computer. That's a bummer. I was going to pitch it around. I have a kilohertz pitch shifter that I would jump it up and down with. But that's not an option over here. So, what else could we use? Honestly, I'm just going to finish it all off with some OTT. Pretty interesting for a stock serum sound. I mean, it's not like perfect, or like, you know, incredible, but it's for nothing, you know? Turn this way up. Sorry. But then after the fact, let's turn it back down. That's something I want to automate. I'm going to automate the filter on the delay. That'll create some cool bandpass movement. Bandpass movement creates growly noises and stuff. See, like, that's kind of a cool growl, like, growl. So since we're getting interesting things, I mean, consider that I haven't even touched the serum patch yet. So, you know, the possibilities are very large in where this can go. But the idea that randomizing it will help get those ideas flowing is kind of cool. I'm going to do it this way, actually. I'm going to freeze it temporarily. Copy paste this down here. Cool, so we're like left with this little giblet right here. Whoops. Yep, cool. So we got the whole thing. Look how compressed she is. This is what the part I was interested in. So like off the bat, like there's baseline ideas in there, like boom, bum, boom, bum, boom. And this is just off of a serum that had nothing on it at all. We do want to EQ it. I wish I had Soothe on this computer. But yeah. So I'm going to go back to the chat and read some things. But I mean, that's a good example of how if you just start stacking effects and randomizing things wildly, if you're really stuck, just get a bunch of things and draw a bunch of stuff, resample it out. Interesting things will happen. The main heavy lifters in this case are the OTT and the saturator being pushed like that. But you know, you can get an amp in the mix maybe. The amp is gonna really crunch out the high end, which might be too much, which means I might have to turn the presence down and the treble down. I'm gonna fuck with the dry wet, but not too much. Oh, turn back to grid going away at times. I really like making recycled garbage noise. Ooh. Because you can't get these kinds of sounds. Here's the thing. Where a lot of people get stuck on sound design, and I get stuck on sound design like this a lot too myself. It happens to me. I forget I know how to do other stuff, and then I'll remember, and I'll be like, oh, good. Is people do this. And I was going to show... I'll take this opportunity to show the general basic, and sorry if any really advanced producers are in here, but I'll just show you guys the super basic how to approach serum kind of approach. Yes, JC Perry 0901. Animal Drum says, I'm the trash man, like Danny DeVito. The basic entry serum approach, I'll show you guys. So, and how serum works. So, if anyone has objections in the chat and wanted this to be like a really advanced stream, I'm going to quickly go beginner for a little bit, and just give you guys a real basic thing. So, anyway, serum, here's how it works. These two boxes right here are your starting oscillators, right? So these are the two things that start your initial noise, right? All synths, you have a starting thing that like starts the noise, and then it's sent into something that will change the noise, and then it's sent through something else that will change the noise, and then there's an output. But the starting thing is the oscillator. So these are your starting oscillators. In this case, they're sent to a filter, and then there's a bunch of stuff you can send them through on the back. And then you can also do stuff to the starting oscillators. So, in this instance, you're left starting wavetable, right? Or starting wave. So this is the first wave that started out. Looks like that. That's what it sounds like. There are basic wavetables. If you are like super mega new to synthesis, there's like, I don't know, 10 basic shapes that a wave can be. And all other waves are just like in-betweens of those shapes, or not. Not really, actually. So you have your sine wave, which is pure and clean like that. You got your sawtooth wave, which is just a ramp down. Or triangle wave, which is just a good old boy triangle. Square wave, which is all of rhythm. Different square wave that's pushed off to the side a little bit. Pushed off to the side more. That thing. Houndstooth? I don't know. These are your basic shapes, right? So you get two of these. So you can have like one sawtooth and like... But also serum comes with like a shitload of basic ones built in. It's like one of those, right? So basically how you control them is all of these knobs in the front. They control all the parameters. Level obviously is the volume. Wavetable position. So a lot of these are wavetables. So instead of just being a single wave, it'll be a table of waves. So this is one wave, but this is the whole table. There's 256 waves all together in this table, and what this knob does is it cycles through them. So you can pick a wave out of this table that you want to use. So this knob right here is going to control this wavetable right here. A lot of the time what you're going to be doing is automating this knob to sweep through that table to create a kind of movement. That's pretty basic, so we'll go in and find a better wavetable. And a lot of people will kind of rely on just having good wavetables and not doing much after that. I try and get more complicated than that. But one of my favorite wavetables are these modular mashups. I don't know where I got them. Straight up, like 5 years ago. Serum is not free. But you're on the internet, bro. You can figure it out. I paid for my serum. I would suggest you do the same. So right there, you have like your initial little bass noise, right? I should also explain this right here, what I just did. So with all of these knobs, you can move them all yourself, or you could what's called modulate them, okay? There's multiple different types of modulation, but what modulation is it is anything that will automatically move these knobs back and forth for you without you having to move them yourself, right? So the main most popular one probably I would say is LFO, which stands for low frequency oscillation. Not to be confused with these being called oscillators, although there is kind of an overlap of why it's called that. Low frequency oscillation just means that it's at a low frequency going to oscillate back and forth. So you can put a low frequency oscillation back and forthing thing on any of these knobs and they will move back and forth automatically at a low frequency. You can see this is now moving back and forth. Now this shape right here, this is point A at the bottom and point B at the top. The line at the bottom is over time, and so it's going to start at point A. Over time it's going to go straight to point B, and over time it's going to go straight back to point A. And as you can see over here, that's what's happening. It's going back and forth. You can change the shape of this, which is a very important thing that you will be doing a lot of. And you can change the speed of this by just grabbing and changing this thing, and by changing the speed. There's a lot more parameters that go into LFOs. You can get really in depth with it if you want to. Like you can draw your own. It's pretty nuts. But the basic ones you want to know off the bat are, if you want it to be synced with the BPM, you click BPM. If you don't want it to be synced with the BPM, it'll just freeform go back and forth. More times than not, you want it synced with the BPM. You can also... I actually don't know what anchor stands for. Determines whether or not the LFO will always be synced with the global position of the song. Wouldn't that be BPM sync? I don't know. I'm actually not familiar. I think anchor's always turned on. I guess that means it figures out what the BPM of the song is. Anyway, triplet means that you can enable triplet speeds. And dotted means that you can enable dotted speeds, which is kind of like a swing. It's in between... I think it's called dotted because, like, when you read music, it's like 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN. The E's are the dots. That might make no sense at all, but dot basically means more, because triplet is in between like a certain grid. Dot is in between that. It's even more specific. Trigger, when you have trigger on, means that the LFO will start over. Explain to everyone why people say quarter note dubstep, because everyone is writing songs that are just quarter notes, atonally. Trigger means that every time you press a note, the LFO will start back at the beginning. Envelope means that when you press it once, it's only going to do it once and that'll run its course. So remember how I said there were multiple types of modulation, LFO being one of them? An envelope is another type of modulation where instead of repeating itself and looping like that, an envelope just goes once. So you can turn this LFO into an envelope by clicking envelope. Or you can have it off, which means that it'll just, whenever you press it, it'll pick up where it left off. See how it's just picking up where it left off? Means the not played is cut in half and added to the length, so a half note is dotted on 3 beats. You learn something every day. Explain what a quarter note is. So, a quarter note for, okay, a single whole note is 1 bar. So a quarter note, there's 4 per bar. So if it's womp, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 notes per bar. That's 4 quarter notes. So when a song's like wah, 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 that's just quarter note songs. But you knew that, control freak. Explain what, yeah. Anywho. Back to the, so that's an LFO, how you work it. You know. With these knobs you can control, there's like an initial LFO that'll slowly change into this one. Honestly, I haven't fucked with those knobs too much. It's funny. But anyway, and then also there are a shitload of custom shapes, and then you can also make your own. I've made some of my own. This one is called Tit. Let's see what it looks like. Looks like a tit. Anyway, back to the oscillator tab. So this is your basic wavetable. It's going to be comprised of a bunch of different waves. We know what those are now. Your wavetable knob is going to cycle through that. The knob up here, or it's not a knob, it's a box. Unison. This means what you can do is you can have multiple of this all happening at once. So right now we only have 1. But if you want to make 16 variants of this all happen at the same time, that's what 16 of them all happening at once would sound like. You can also control the detuning of this. Each one of these lines represents one instance of this wave table being happening, you know? And you can control how far away they are from each other in terms of phasing. So if you want them all perfectly exactly on top of each other, not phasing at all, or you can really detune them and have them go in all their own direction. Gets pretty out of control pretty quickly, but I have noticed you do kind of get a effect, as such as the effect of phasing when you have these layers over top of each other. Creates kind of a tonal delay. Anyway, turning this back down. Right here, the blend knob. Actually, I'm going to turn this back up. The blend knob, you can make it so the different voices are either more intense or less intense than the original voice. See, that's all the voices. That's just one strong one. Super detuned. It's not as drastic. When the detune comes back in when you turn off the blend, it's drastic again. What the phase knob does is the phase knob decides on where the wave starts when you play it. So you can, normally it starts in the middle, but you can start off to the side. Doesn't really change much in this instance, but it can change more than you think once you've built up a whole giant thing. And then random is also, I'm pretty sure it says it starts in random positions. I normally turn random down, so it always starts from the same phase. Panning is self-explanatory. And level is self-explanatory. So, this is where things get interesting, is the ways that you can the ways that you can like morph your wave, the ways that you can change it. There's a lot of ways. They're kind of broken down into categories. The first one are sync. So with sync, what it does is it kind of, I don't know, you just look at it. That's what sync does. It changes the pitch. I think it's raising it by harmonics. I don't know if that's the technical term for it. Don't know the actual technicalities of how it works. But it definitely raises it by octave. I'm not sure if FM is involved with it. Someone in the chat probably knows. Yeah, I mean, I could explain FM. Okay, so how FM works, basically... FM from B. We need a basic wave. So what FM does is it controls the volume really fucking fast, basically. So here's a good way to explain it, actually. Let's close out a serum. What exactly FM is. Let's get an operator. This should be able to help you visualize like what actually FM is. So you have a starting sine wave, right? What FM does is it automates the volume to go up and down at the same shape of the wave that's FMing it, right? So if you were to get, let's say, in this case, this looks like a sine wave, to frequency shift it, frequency modulate. See how a new tone starts to come about? And it actually changes tone. That tone right there is like FM. I wonder if I can do it better with this. Oh yeah, that is AM. You're right. Sorry. So frequency modulation would be doing when you're doing this with the actual frequency of the sound. So FM at a very, very low speed is going to automate the pitch of a signal, and the shape of that automation is going to be whatever wave you're FMing it with. So frequency modulation right now is just a sine wave frequency modulating it up and down in pitch, right? So when you go up really fast, you get different tones. You hear that like going up and down? It's the exact same thing in principle. So like we'll do the same thing. We'll use a sine wave over here. That's so weird. Why is it doing... Oh, right. It'll be easier to picture if we use simple waveforms, I would imagine. So what is happening is with this shape, it's modulating the pitch of this oscillator, and this knob controls how much it is doing that. So this is like full modulation. This is like only a little bit. It's not going to do much. Yeah. And the pitch of this really dictates how much, because like the pitch of this is kind of the same thing as this. So if you make it 2 over here, it'd be like the same thing as doing that. And that's a different shape going to affect this. So if we go back to FM, we can see that the pitch really changes that. There's a lot of weird ways you can incorporate things from FM to happen. One of those things, for example, is you turn this up 2, turn this down 2, and move up 2 spaces on your keyboard. I don't know why it does that. I feel like it like FM's back around to the pitch it starts at. That's a trick I do a lot. Also, whenever you open Serum, one of the first things you should do, if you choose to, is set it to mono and legato and turn this up a bit. Because if you're making bass sounds, you don't want them to really overlap each other. Yeah, FM is a really weird kind of concept, but basically, to sum it up, it's that you have two oscillators, right? And they're both certain shapes, like let's say they're both sine waves. You're taking whatever you're FMing with, you're taking that sine wave, and you're automating the pitch of the first one to the shape of the second one really, really, really fast, so it creates a new tonality, a new tone. FM is pretty much how most people make screechy stuff. So, we know what the wavetable knob is. That's FM, but there's a bunch of other options we can do here. Sync, we saw how that works. It has a similar kind of effect to FM, but it's not actually the same thing, like physically what's happening. Sync windowed is basically the same thing as sync, but with a thing on the edges of it. See how it kind of smooths it out on the side? And that just stays like that. Bend plus minus. You can see what it does. I mean, these are all things that just bend the shape of the wave. And the wave is going to dictate what the sound sounds like. So these are just ways to modulate the wavetable that you are working with. So like, let's go back and find like a vaguely interesting... I have massive in here as well. Do I like imported all of my massive wavetables. I forget where they went. Massive wavetables, yeah! What did I used to always use? I think Scrapyard. So let's get some modulation going back on here. And then also what we can do, again, this is like your standard run-of-the-mill approach to serum, how you'd make your basic serum patch. Once you have picked out a wavetable modulation you like, a wavetable you like, you did some stuff to this, should you choose to, you don't have to if you don't want to. In this case, I might just for learning purposes. Now, one of the ways you make sounds interesting is by modulating more things. So I'm going to modulate this as well. And I'm also going to modulate the overall volume. Cool, so we understand oscillator tab. We understand the LFO tab. The envelope tab works very similar to the LFO tab. You kind of just move the shape. It's essentially the same thing, only it doesn't repeat. Yes, let's move over. I guess we could show the sub tab. I often don't use the sub tab. I normally make my subs separately. Oh yeah, you can import massive wavetables into Serum. You can import anything into Serum. Like, there's tutorials all over the internet of people dropping pictures into Serum, text files. They'll record their farts on their phone and put them in Serum. Like, Serum is almost like a sampler because you can really put fucking anything in there, and it has a very complex and sophisticated way it has been engineered, and many different ways you can import things to do that. Anywho, you can have your own separate sub if you want to. I generally don't. You can choose the wave of the sub, the volume of the sub, the panning, and the octave. Noise, same thing. You can add a noise on top of everything. You can modulate that as well. I very rarely use noise. You can also set it to be, I believe this is velocity sensitive. Yeah, that's pitch tracking, which means it'll change pitch based off of what note you press. And this will mean that it doesn't repeat. Cool, interesting. I never really use noise. And then also you can hit direct out, meaning that it won't be affected by any of the effects going on or any of the filters, should you choose to route them to a filter. So if you press direct out and then did this, it would be kind of nonsense and it would cancel itself out. Anyway, filter tab. First filter. There are 3, honestly more than that. There's like 10 potential filters in Serum. I use the sub knob, then cut the low end later. Yeah, I don't use the sub. Show them the Zappified on that pig. Throw a Zappified. And if you want to be Boogie T, you take any noise at all in Ableton ever. You get a phaser. Where's the phaser? You double click Zappified. Oh, it didn't work. Oh no. Let's put Zappified on this. And boom, you're Boogie T. That's so fun. I like that. I like playing with sounds. Anyway, Shift tab to go between effects and MIDIs. Fun thing. Okay, so yeah, once you got this all set up and going, you could add a second oscillator if you're not FMing if you really want to. Get some modulation going. I like same way I randomize my LFOs and same way I randomize my automations, I'll randomize my fucking wavetable selections. What if we... I'll go through some more of these. So we did the bend plus. These just modulate shapes. PMW, we'll shrink it down like this. Do some interesting stuff. Asymmetry plus. We'll push it off to one side. Minus, we'll push it off to the other side. Plus minus, we'll push it off to both sides. Flip does that. Mirror does this. They all affect sounds differently. When I first got Serum, I definitely overused mirror too much. Remap, which means you can change how it changes the shape of it. You can kind of draw in your own thing. So at this shape, you can see how those spikes kind of correlate. Oh, I can't move this window. But see how those spikes kind of correlate with their own. Like this moment of nothing down here kind of correlates to this moment of nothing down here, where not much is being moved. Versus this big spike right here, it's moving it drastically right here, as you can see. So, anyway, we got some, fucking fuckery going on with the oscillators. They have been fucked with and things have been done. Let's move this phase a little bit. Cool, now we're on to the filter segment of the show. Jehovah Bootleg out when? Never. Sorry, they said no. They told me no. I would if I could. They said, oh, can't do weed on Twitch. Let's turn the camera off. Haha. Brief intermission. I can showcase some grain tonal delay stuff. Mike is asking. Yeah, I can do that. I've heard a lot that your music is ghost produced. From where? I'm honored that you think it's good enough that I'd hire some sort of professional. But anywho.
People would literally hire you.
Yeah, I've actually been approached. And I've said no. Anywho. Filters are cool because you gotta always automate them. Anyway. There are many types of filters. There are low-pass filters, there are high-pass filters. They basically affect the frequency spectrum. This is the whole frequency spectrum. There's low end down here, high end up here, mid-range in the middle. So with a low-pass filter, it's going to filter out the high end. With a high-pass filter, it'll filter out the low end. And what filtering out the low end does, you gotta put it on both oscillators. You can select which oscillator it's on right here. I put it on both. See how the high end goes away? So if you put a same LFO on that, yeah, you're filtering out the high end. Whereas if you do a low pass filter, or I mean a high pass filter, you're filtering out the low end. This works better for our purposes. Turn up the drive. Turn up the fat to make it way more louder. Don't actually know what the fat knob specifically does, but it does be accurately named. Drive is a built-in saturation into the filter that you're using. So yes. These are the sounds. That's the front of Serum. 2 oscillators, a filter, and a modulation matrix. And some noises and some subs that I rarely use. Just because I like to do that separately. Am I actually secretly Marshmallow? No. Big ups, donating bits. I used to always FM from B to A because I like to make bro step, but this is good knowledge of my EP since I was going to make a rhythm track. That makes no sense. Whether it's bro step or rhythm is so many more factors are involved with that. And whether you're FMing B into A or A into B wouldn't make a difference. Like the rest of that, the rest of the sound design would dictate whether it sounds like a more rhythmy kind of bass or a bro steppy kind of bass. Also the arrangement and patterns and stuff. I mean, generally rhythm sound design is more involved, more square waves and phasers and FMing. Like square waves, phasers, and FM. But normally you're using Reason and you're using a synth called Maelstrom. And there's a slider on Maelstrom called the index knob, which controls the factor at which something is being FM'd. Yes, square 4 to be more specific. Can all these idiots please stop talking so the producers can learn? Damn. Anywho. Sonia, like...
So mean.
Yes, you have a very basic growl going on right now as a result of LFOing a bunch of simple things, putting a filter on it and driving distortion on the filter. It's the run-of-the-mill Serum activity. Then on the back, you have some stereo tools. This will create 4 voices, detune them at a certain speed, and incorporate it at a certain amount. That's what these knobs are right here. I don't use it very much. I think it kind of phases. I don't like the phasing it causes. Squelchy. Dimension is kind of just like a stereo widening tool. What up, Brock? Distortion is distortion. Some good distortions. I like soft and hard. I like zero square downsample. I don't like zero square. I like sine and line fold. But you gotta be dumb, stupid careful with this shit. Gets really out of hand really fast. What's cool about distortion on Serum is that it's got these built-in filters. So you can actually turn these on and modulate them. Off, pre, post. You can have it before the effect or after the effect. Let's say like pre the effect. Yeah, it's cleaner. Takes out some of the squishy high end, but also pushes it a little bit more. Very, very basic sound. So anyway, keep going. Flanger is your standard flanger effect. I like to turn the rate down. Here's the new acronym new producers, here's a new acronym that I want to control your life. ABM, always be modulating, motherfuckers. Always be modulating as many things as you can, because then you got more stuff that's moving and it becomes more interesting and more things are happening. How do I, if you do use the sub effect, is it overkill to put another over top of it? The reason why you should not do that is because if you have two subs at the same time, they're going to phase each other out, and they're going to both be fighting to get through, and they're both going to lose. There's a science behind why that happens, and it's because speakers, the way they create low frequencies is by moving slow enough that if they get interrupted, it's just not going to recreate that sound. It's going to be phasing. Oh, thank you for tipping. My total bits is 69. Haha, funny. Didn't know you can automate the distortion filter. Yes, you can. Yeah, for my sub bass I use hip hop sub bass most of the time. I'm just automating a shitload of parameters for the sake of automating a shitload of parameters. We need AQS type beats. We need FL type DAWs to make that happen. If I had vocodecs and granulator, or what's the FL granular tool? Ways of preventing phase issues when sound designing. Mid-side EQing. Using your ears to, when it starts to happen, stop what you're doing and go the other direction. Stereo tools, EQing, I don't know. Cool, that would be the flanger. You got your phaser. I generally turn the rate down for these. I want to be in control of the going back and forth, not these. Unless they want to be, and you could set it to a BPM. But you just can't get as specific as you could with an LFO. So I turn the rate down. The feedback in this case kind of acts like a resonance knob on a filter. I explained this last week, but a resonance knob on a filter controls the shape of the cutoff where it's happening. You can get this sense of what a resonance sounds like. Not like how to make a sub, but different things you can do besides just playing sub notes. I'm on it. I'm gonna automate this with a different LFO shape at a slower speed. So now we have a different LFO speed going, we have some different movement going on. When you find your main bass, how many times do you layer that similar sound? It really depends. Sometimes not at all. Sometimes there's a bunch of different sounds. Sometimes it's the same sound 8 times. Trial and error for the most part. Yeah. I don't like them. It sounds better without those, but that's how I would go about using those personally. Chorus. Make sure this low pass filter is opened up all the way. I like to turn the rate down again for reasons I've already explained. Turn these down, depth, feedback. You get some cool stuff when you automate the depth. The important OTT boy. I'm gonna do that outside of here though. Yeah. Something that most people don't realize you can do with an EQ is it can also be a filter. You can use it as a second filter. So I'm gonna put a modulator I'm gonna make this a high pass filter. Just to create some more movement. I'm gonna put another movementy boy on here and make a little notch. It's just sweeping through, moving stuff around, kind of creating that more pronunciation effect. I'm gonna set this to retrigger. I'm just going through and adjusting things, you know, to my ears. Cool. So then there's reverb. I rarely put reverb on my bass sounds, and if I do, it's not within Serum because this one's a little bit wily, so I'm not. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Not right now, but what's the best way to eliminate background noise from a vocal sample if you want to add it to a drop? I can show you that. I can show you how to do that. There are many different things you can try. Not a whole lot. I have 25 messenger notifications. I feel like something's going bad. No, it's a separate group chat. Bing bong, bing 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 bong. Taking a break to scroll through my phone. Cool. And we're back. ADHD is fun. What's good with this food?
It's literally, look where he is.
Exciting times.
You are always eating on live stream.
Cool. I had to do a quick space out for a second. I'm still so butthurt that someone said I heard a rumor your ghost produced it. I'm like the opposite of that guy. What? How many times have I showed?
People are stupid.
I know. It's, well, the reason why I'm so taken back by that is because I post videos on my Instagram story of myself working on new whips, like, literally every
Jesse,
day.
I posted a video of me chopping and someone said pre-recorded.
But I also I don't ghost for anyone else, if anyone is wondering, or if there's any rumors like that. Yeah, he's trolling. I ate the bait. I was successfully trolled, it's fine. But if there's any rumors that I ghost produce for anyone, I don't. And I would tell you if I did. But I don't produce for anyone. Because I'm too vain. Like, literally. Like, I'm too selfish to ghost produce for other people. If the song came out, I'd be like, no, I want credit. Like, I don't know. I don't have the willpower for that, honestly, I don't. This needs more taken off the bottom. A lot of times turning the LFO, I'm so weeded, words become hard. When you turn the rate, hold on 1 sec, food is here. Hello? Yeah, she's gonna be right outside. She's walking out the door right now. Alright, thank you. Bye. He was like, is this Sonia? I was like, yes. When you turn the level all the way down, what's happening with the LFO? Because normally with this way, the LFO is only going to half volume. It's not going all the way quiet. And there's a little bit too much off the bottom right now, so I want to bring this to all the way quiet. Takes a little bit off the bottom. Oh, dude, my house is haunted as fuck. But also, it's just the way the door is shaped. It automatically opens. My bathroom door is the same way. Oh my god, food. Great, excite, much hungry. You got a third filter going on right here. Technically a second filter, but it's technically also a third filter. All the same filter options as the front are now on the back. What are these? Are these chips?
Yeah.
Chips and cheese! Would you guys be super butthurt if I just ate real quick? I thought I'd want more than a burrito, so I got a children's quesadilla as well, and it came with a juicy box. Brock, shut up! Nerd.
What'd he say?
When celebrities eat and stuff, he's like us. Oh, there's still 400 people in here. Oh my god. Alright, burrito. I am getting so much fatter. And I don't care. Who else has gained a lot of weight during quarantine? Me. Okay. So, one of the crazy things about filters, of course Alec has lost 9 pounds. You're like a super productive and responsible person.
Yo, I've been working out so much.
Yeah, everyone's like losing weight. There's many types of filters. All that apply different shapes to the frequency spectrum of your sound. This is one shape right here. But because you have low pass filters and high pass filters and band pass filters and notch filters, I think I've explained this before, you also have multi-filters, which will do a low and a high pass. Or like it has like some sort of notch in it. Band pass with like a notch. This is like a band, I don't know. These are combination filters. So like, see, it's like partially low pass. Oh, you just go between them. So there's the low pass. And then there's the high pass, I guess. And you can morph between them. Which is probably a more interesting thing to do. So let's just do that. Oh, yeah, that's way cooler. You see, it's going between a low filter and a high pass filter. But you also have all these flanger filters, which create these spikes. So this is LPH24, cool. Like comb filters, which create that. And those create resonant harmonics that kind of turn into a tonal delay thing. Excuse me. There's many different types of comb filters. That's the inverse of the last one. Cutoff is like where it's happening. Resonance is how much of it there is. Drive is how much of a saturator you're putting on it. You got comb high pass filters that only take place in the low end, and vice versa. Flanger filters, many different crazy artsy kind of ridiculous filters that'll mangle the shit out of your sound. I forgot to take like everything out of this burrito. There's so many things in it. Someone already said it. Phase 48, that boy. I do have to say, the phaser filters are among my favorite. And my favorite one is the Phase 48. Which is a spiky, comby kind of filter like this. But the way it's been calculated and the way they set these peaks up is that it has a phaser effect. Wow. Burritos get stuck in my teeth. And it sounds real nice. You could do the same thing. You could just like make an EQ if you really wanted to that does the same thing as this filter. Like if you were to grab an EQ8 and see how it like has like those spikes and valleys and stuff, like you can do that same thing with an EQ and see how it moves around. Like you can automate these all to a macro to move them around. It's the same thing in principle. But let's go back. So I just wanted you guys to see what those look like, because there's a bunch of different like crazy shapes that will mangle your noises. And then here's a bunch of other ones. Reverb is a fun one. Reverb gets kind of over... When Serum first came out, I think reverb filter got overused really heavily. And it has like a really specific sound to it. So like a lot of people who've been producing for a long time, when they hear a reverb filter bass, they'll be like, it's just a reverb filter bass, who cares? This is delicious. I like the formant basses as well. They're designed to create a formant filter effect, and what a formant filter is a filter with peaks and valleys in specific places that it'll pronounce a vocal effect. I might be wrong on that, but I don't think I am. But yeah, Formant basically creates vowel kind of effects out of really dramatic EQings and stuff. So these are all different types of Formant filters that they've included. And then band reject filter, which just rejects a single band. And then these distortion comb filters, which are like comb filters, but they're pushed harder. I don't know exactly how these work, but there's low pass, band pass variants of them. So you see this is a band pass, but it's also doing all those crazy weird shit in there. I don't know. They're fun to experiment with. Scream filter basically takes one resonant thing and makes it really loud. Can be useful. I like putting scream filters on long notes. That works pretty well a lot of the time. That was a fire quesadilla, and I'm still eating a burrito. Okay. I was using LPH24, right? Yeah. Oh, forgot to turn trigger on. Excuse me. So, as you can see, we're still automating these parameters on these oscillators, this parameters on this oscillator. They are not affecting each other. We got this filter going on, and then we have all of this going on. Let's move to our last filter. Probably going to use phase 48 because I have a problem with it. No, I don't want to use this one. I want to use the slower one. Yep. So, what I was saying at the beginning of the stream is that instead of doing your regular run-of-the-mill serum, you could take an approach more like that and get really weird, fucking strange, weird noise. And then you can also randomize, if you guys are still remembering what I was talking about, you can randomize the pitch in here. You know, make sure that your pitch bend is enabled good and nice. Here's an idea. What if we took this serum, took all of this stuff, put it on this serum, oh, sorry to slow the shit down. I explained it earlier at the way beginning of the stream. Hold on. Someone asked earlier for me to show them grain delay stuff. I'm going to show you some quick grain delay stuff as well. I've been streaming now for an hour. Someone brought up a good point. So many different programs and modulators to learn about and understand each one of them. Producing seems so overbearing to a beginner, and that's very true, and it really does. But what it really comes down to is like all of these tools and all of these VSTs are kind of based off of like really only like 6 or 7 different principal main concepts, and then there's just like a shitload of different specific ways to tweak those main concepts. But if you understand those main concepts, you can look at something brand new you've never seen before, and if you read the knobs, you can almost know how to use it right away because you know what those knobs do and what they are and how they work. So it's like when you get a new VST, when you get a new synth, if it's not presenting any crazy new technology, you already know how to use that synth because you understand the basic core concepts that everything goes into. Someone says attack, decay, sustain, release, the ASDR. If you understand attack, decay, sustain, release, every time you see that on a tool of any type, you'll know how and what that does, you know? And specifically, attack, decay, sustain, release means attack stands for how long it takes for the sound to fade in. Decay means, how long it takes to get from the initial, or to get from that initial attack to where it's going to stay. This sustain means how loud it's going to stay, and then the release means how long it's going to take to go away once you stop pressing the MIDI note. So the ASDR is like the shape of the sound. Attack, decay, sustain, release. There aren't literally 6, but ASDR is definitely one of them, I think. Like understanding exactly how compressors work, like thresholds and ratios. I explained that on my last stream, exactly how compressors work. Because there's a lot of misconceptions. A compressor is literally just something that automates volume based off of volume sent in. I don't normally put crowd noise in. Someone asked me to show some sub bass tips. If you're in Ableton, I would strongly recommend going into instruments and typing in hip hop sub and using that. It's really tight. It's a really well built instrument. This saturator is controlled by this. Oh. I believe it is, looks like a sine wave being FM'd by a sine wave with some very small harmonics over here. This is up 2 and down 1, so it's doing that same FMing thing from before I was talking about Serum, where I pitched it up 2 and then down 2 and moved up 2 on the keyboard. Same concept here, how this is down 0.5 and up 2. For me, there's like a really huge range of how long it takes me to finish songs. Sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's an hour. But an alternative you can use, I guess, is just get really like any sine wave from anything, I guess, if you want to use Serum. One thing I like to do is use triangle waves and low pass them. It's a very common new trend that people have been doing. You get a triangle wave, you low pass it. You get much more harmonics this way, naturally, without being forced to draw them out. The attack is a little strange on that. So is the release. You don't want a stereo tool, that's for sure. You don't really want to distort it. I think we're done inside of Serum for this one, but I might do some post-processing. Some double insurance that it's mono, although I already know it is, but just for sake of reminding you guys that subs need to be monos. Brock, wowzers. It probably took me 3 or 4 years to get really comfortable in Ableton, maybe more.
Jesse, this porn star with 2 million followers posted to like your photo so I can get a snake.
Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
Yeah, look.
What? Madison Ivy?
Yeah.
I've like heard of her.
Yeah. She posted to go like your photo so I can get a steak. Look how many followers.
Holy shit. Bro, what? She follows you. That's crazy. Wow. The chat's like, heard of her. Oh, okay. Someone said, dude, she's the nicest human ever.
She seems really sweet. She shared our post to get me a snake.
Oh, yeah. Surprised it's taken us this long to get a snake. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. That would be amazing. Bing bong, bing 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 bong. I have ADHD. Okay, how's everyone doing? I also like to soft clip my sub bass a little bit. Maybe a wee tad, a little bit of erosion. Maybe like just like the smallest touch of overdrive. If you want to know how to make a respace, that's a respace. Basically, it's just detuned sine waves with a shitload of distortion. Yeah. But turn all of this off. It's my general sub chain. Yeah, that's Heckler. I could just like put this on loop and just listen to it for like 6 hours. Yeah, man. What else do you guys want to see? Anything else? Someone said stuff about tonal delay, how I normally use tonal delay. So we got some grain delay. Here's some grain delay. Turn sync off. I like to set it around this much and around this much. I just do that. Straight up. Excuse me. There's too much going on. Somebody once told me to put a yoy man on it.
Okay.
Everyone uses this too much. There's yoy man. Now you know how to do it. Welcome to the curse. Because everyone uses it too much. I mean, same with OTT. Now we're just making noises, bro. Something I started doing recently. This has been a thing kind of came up with that I don't think other people are doing. I've been putting arpeggiators on bass sounds, and doing this.
This sounds like screensaver.
I don't know, you get some interesting effects with it sometimes. It's not really doing anything cool on this sound, but arpeggiators can sometimes do some really weird things to basses. I wonder if I have anything saved on here, which I don't, because I've been producing on my other computer. Wait, no I haven't. I've been producing on this one. So many saved instrument racks on this computer, good Christ. Oh, that was saved in 2016. This was saved in 2020. I'm gonna see if I can get this arpeggiator effect thing to work. Automate the cutoff, scream and drive.
Oh no.
What? Clean Datsik wobble, rip. Just to show how old this patch originally was. Yikes. I don't like that sound anyway. Oh, I just opened it on here. Something peculiar is going on. And it's these... So much fuckery is going on in this patch. Look at my lack of restraint. So like, I mean, like a lot of my sound design, it doesn't stay MIDI. Like I'll just do shit like this and then I freeze it. Oh, I deleted it. Like I'm always freezing shit and then moving it and then warping it and then just moving those layers into place. For example, that didn't do anything. Bing bong, bing bong. Like this is where I start to really fuck with it from here. I like feel more comfortable fucking with audio. Something that is fun and cool and nice is convulsion reverb. I like to turn the decay time down. I treat this like a tonal delay plugin. I'm not paying attention enough to the chat. How's you guys doing? What's going on? I'm not really making any songs specifically. I'm just showing random shit, I guess. And then I do this a lot. know, maybe Nachi Boy. Paper make brain go brr. That's cool. That was like one of the funniest fucking copy pastas. Not even a copy pasta, just going around all day on bicycle day when people were like, haha, paper make brain go brr. It's just funny. I like Convulsion Reverb. Fuck, marry, kill, Bass Nectar, Excision, Tiesto. For that, I'm smoking weed. Just kidding, I'm not smoking weed. Ignore the sounds you're about to hear that I could easily turn off, but choose not to. And banned. McDonald's tobacco, fresh out the bone. I really don't think I would get banned, but I'm not risking it. I made a cool sound though. Could we go further with it? Yes. Yes, we could. This is the second step of the sound design process for me. The first step is serum. I guess there's 3 steps. The first step is serum. The second step is whatever the fuck this bullshit is. And then the third step is excessively freezing and flattening and just pushing sounds further and further from where they started. Got a bit of space from before that starts, so let's do this. I wish that I had Soothe on this computer because I would use it at this time. Maybe a hair of frequency shifting. This is where layering, my friends, starts to come into place. Let me tell you about it. Can I tell you about it? Because I'm gonna. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna frequency shift one of them. And not frequency shift the other. So when I am in a frequency shift, I'm going to add some time-based effects. I'm going to modulate them. It's also too loud. Do I have Hass on this? I don't have Hass on this, but I have stereo. I said too loud, motherfucker. You're too loud. And I want it to be more tss-y. How do I make it more tss-y? Let me think. So many VSTs are not on this computer, and it makes me truly a sad boy. Not doing what I want it to. Literally, like, barely any. Not like in the ASDR. Let's clean it up. That's more like it. That does nothing. Don't stack things for no reason, guys. There's no reason. If there's no reason, then there's no reason. That also makes it worse. Trial and error. Mostly error. Oh no. you just get some fucking stupid ass drums. And like some kind of snare. I hate all of these. It's fine. You put them in the same lane for no reason at all.
Because they sing and stare in the same lane gives me anxiety.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I did that intentionally wrong, but as you can see, it kind of works. Sort of, not really. I mean, like... Let's see, let's get some other pieces of bits we did earlier. What does this sound like? I can do something nonsensical with that. I don't know why people are saying things in the chat like this is an exciting thing so far, because it's not, but you know. That's a decent sound. That's kind of a weird sound. Let's do stuff to it. Fuck it, Yoy man. Not Yvonne of Distortion. I wish I had all my other plugins, but I don't, and it's fine. Make sure warp is on, hold down shift and drag this shit. Get another boy. It's just getting random ideas started. Fucking, you know. What else do you guys want to talk about or learn about? Anything in specifics? What's up?
This photo.
Ah! That's upsetting. Move the top line, make them talk. Brock is yelling at me. Sounds. This particular sound came from me resampling this serum preset that I made. Before I went over how I make serum presets, and then I showed you guys this one. I can go over it. It's this wavetable being FM'd into this wavetable. Everything's 1/8. This is modulating the filter, screen filter. This noise is not on, so ignore that. This is not on, so ignore that. This is also pitched down 1. This is pitched up 3. Detoned a little bit, actually. Detuning is alive with this pinch. Most of the effects are in use. Modulating a bunch of stuff here. And then we got a saturator pushing it up 36 dB, which is excessive, and then another saturator to soft clip it again. Then an OTT, then a G clip, which is like the same thing as this, but 2 of them, who cares? We got a Pro Q to boost the high end. Another OTT because fuck the police, and another G clip because fuck the police. And that's literally it. Just fucking a shitload of that. Yeah. And then I resampled it out and did a bunch of tonal based stuff. Got that. I think that sound is better than this. Let's go ahead and unfreeze this. Oh geez. Hectic noises. Why you do this? Literally no idea what I'm making or doing. I'm just playing around. You know. This is 1/6. Believe it or not. I mean, it's super messy and bad, but, you know. Would you talk about your favorite plugins? I don't have them on this computer, but I really like Echo Mode right now. And Disperser. Fab Filter Pro Q3 is tight. What do you guys want me to talk about? What mouse do I use? CyberPower PC. It's both an issue of the sound design and the processing as well. In terms of messiness. What I would do is I would tone back the time-based effects, to be brutally honest. So like, let's get rid of this kind of nonsense right here and like actually. That's not bad. Well, the main issue is we need a sidechain. I approach mixdowns loud. I did side chains last weekend. I'm gonna do this quickly, but how I do my side chains is I grab the transient, make a new lane. I zoomed out too far. Do some of this action. Do some of this action. Bing bong, bing 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 bong. What did I name it? Oh god, I forget. Thank you for subscribing. Matty Moose. 13. We side chaining. And now to match that with the sub that I made Doth earlier. We get really creative when we put the same thing down. And then we make it wiggle.
Make it wiggle.
Sample it. That is not how I would. I was thinking don't do it this way, and I regret doing it this way, and then I was wrong.
Make your 7 serum.
This time I am, because someone said, what if I don't have Ableton? It's 1 over 6 notes. We also need a side boy. Behold the side boy. I want this sub to pitch bend, if I'm gonna be real. Let me look at the chat. What's going on here? I've been really liking side chaining with serum, no artifacts or clicks. Yeah. Oh, your post just hit 10K. We're getting a snake.
Yay!
I think we all knew that was gonna happen.
Snake.
Honestly, like I just said all my shit is like loud as hell, and then soft clip it, and when distortion starts happening, I turn it back. My approach to mix downs is just get everything as loud as fucking possible, like in the mix down itself.
What are we gonna name him?
You sent, yeah. I've seen people do those types of side chains before with triggering with the MIDI. I think that's how Virtual Riot does it. I don't do it that way personally. I don't use a glue compressor for side chains. I use regular compressors. Murata tutorial? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Transition from intro into a build. I guess none of these are loading. I'll just do this one. What is the tempo for dubstep? 140 or 150. Do I soft clip the master? Yes. And each group normally, yes. I need to go buy weed soon. Alright, so for builds, so this is more of like an overall conceptual type situation, but so I don't know if I made this in a live stream. I'm pretty sure I made this in a live stream. So let's say you have an intro that's like a bunch of instruments, right? So I got this instrument. So this is like, where's the main thing? I guess this is the main lead right here. I basically came up with this chord progression. I think this is what we did last week, was me making this last week and showing you guys how I created all of this and coming up with all of it. So it was like that main chord progression, and this arpeggiator made the lead. Then I took the top end and added this layer just for top end brightness. This layer. And then I added this like slap bass bottom layer. Oh, that's not it. It's just like another pad layer. So all together. The sidechain's doing a lot. And then we have these drums. I have this break behind it. It's slowed down, but I also have my own drums. That's the sidechain right there. That's the snare. It's another snare. A third snare. Plus all this stuff equals this. And then when you incorporate sidechained, but I also added this kind of reggae bass slap bass thing. Where is it? It's this fucking silly ass. Where does silly ass? Is it this one? Yeah. I don't have any theory knowledge. This is all by ear. And I noticed that there's kind of this sense of like behind it, so I just manifested it into a reality. Also put this over it. It's like a tambourine loop. And then, what's this? Another hi-hat on top of that. And then all the sweeps. But, to answer the question the person actually asked, how do you transition from builds into, intros into builds into drops? You tip your hand. You do things to tell people that they're coming. Most of the times that thing is going to be sweeps. You add sweeps and risers during the whole thing to give your subconscious an indication of what's going on. And you sweep into everything quietly. So quietly that people don't even notice. It just feels natural. I like to put a lot of reverb and other stuff on my effects, because when I don't, they seem to end really suddenly at the start of the next thing, or you seem to need to put in like new sweep downs. Instead of needing to sweep down, you can just fucking put some time-based effects on there with long decays. See, that's sweeped in. So the sweeps help transition you in, but also the change in instrumentation. The beginning of the song is very nothing going on, really. You have only 3 of the ultimately 6 things going on. So you have And the drums are stripped way back too. You only have these hi-hats and these snares compared to this snare. Yeah, way less. Octave changes too will help. It went way up. That's an energy change. You're looking for as many energy changes as possible. Down an octave, up an octave. All of these things help ease that transition into the next part. You want everything to change. It's like when you're moving to the next part of the song, picture like a guitarist guy, he's going to move his hand on the fretboard to go to the next part, you know, like you can't get too repetitious. So things are changing. I introduced all these drums and all this stuff, and then I think I'm automating some parameters here and there. I'm not totally sure if I am or not. I have some these going on as well. So, what helped this breakdown took place, what made it easier and nicer on the ears, the sweeps mainly. Big sweep in, big sweep out. There's a lot of reasons why this kind of works. So the sweep in is focusing primarily on the high end, right? But the sweep down has a shitload of low end on it. But there's actually one riser that started going up and it's still going up right here. Creates a kind of blending of the two segments together. So there's both frequency spectrum, juxtaposition and contrast happening, but also a constant level of another side of it is always rising. So that all together really kind of ties things together. But also the instrumentation change is happening as well. Another octave up another octave, and then we also have this go up another octave as well. And it's an 8-part progression as well, so that kind of makes it easier to be more impactful and epic. And yeah, but I have also introduced a new sound entirely at this point to signify that it's a completely new part of the song. See, I do that right now because this is what it sounds like.
It's all a story created by you to keep me here. But that's not going to work any longer.
See, there's a big thing going on right here that I want to explain with vocal samples. It's really important not to have a whole too many things overlapping your vocal sample. It's really easy to wash them out. You see a lot of people when they're newer, they put a whole big vocal speech during the whole build, and you can't fucking hear shit over all the kick drums and all the snare drums that are in the build-up. You can't have snares and drums going at the same time as a vocal sample. They're going to be fighting each other. So you got to give the vocal samples space. That's why so many times, at least in my case, whenever I do vocal samples, I do like big cutouts and like a fill down and then a vocal sample and then a sweep back into the action, you know. So right here, and it also both vocal sample, because like with builds you kind of need an object to focus on, so this is kind of the object. This is the event that happens during this time, you know what I mean? It's the thing, it's the focal point of the build is this vocal sample. Like that's the event that happens if in this plot line of a song, you know. But one, I needed to give this space to exist, but in giving it space to exist, I also created less repetition among the other instrumentation throughout the intro as well. I'm cutting out these, I'm cutting out these, I'm cutting out this. There's a whole bunch of new effect stuff happening right now, different sweeps ups going on right now that creates more variation and more depth for this only 8-bar segment going on right now. So many different things happen, creates a more interesting song overall conceptually. So you have this and you sweep into that.
It's all a story created by you to keep me here. But that's not going to work any longer.
Cool. So Someone asked how I clear these samples. In this case, I haven't yet. I have no idea if I'd be able to use it. It's from a TV show. Some TV shows, they flag our stuff. Other shows, we've gotten lucky with it. This is from Westworld. It's HBO. I have no fucking clue. A lot of the times, management will just reach out and test SoundCloud. Sometimes they say no. Sometimes they say yes. I might, if this ends up becoming a finished song, there's a real chance that when we send it off to distribution, they could be like, hey, those samples, no, we can't. We got to swap those. So I might end up changing the samples in this song. It's a back and forth with every song. A tesseract is this. It's a 4-dimensional cube. A 4-dimensional cube is a tesseract. Cube is a 3-dimensional square. Square is a 2-dimensional. That. I don't fucking know. I could redub it with my own vocals. Is there a tutorial or is there one from another producer where you would suggest on the mixdown process making everything loud? There's an unfortunate lack of that. Do we get those Raising Canes in Fort Collins? I think so. I think we got all that. Yeah, Oh It's Sunny got cleared. Well, we didn't talk to them. They just never took it down. Okay, so How to Get Loud. I mean, for me, with How to Get Loud, is I just OTT and saturate and soft clip everything and push everything super fucking loud just before the point of actual audible distortion. And it's just a back and forth and trial and error. Oh, is Effin here? I didn't see Effin. How to mix really loud is what you're looking for. Wait, what did Effin say? I missed him in the chat. Effin's a really good producer. Shout out Effin. I didn't see him. What'd he say? Skrillex is here. Skrillex is in the chat. Oh, that's Effin loud. I mean, honestly, like, I soft clip everything and I turn everything up full volume. And when it starts to get audibly clipping and bad, I turn it down. Oh, how make sound? You know how make sound. Go do make sound. Yeah, anyway. So transitioning into this build, I'm repeating the same thing, but I'm doing it an octave up. Again, an octave up to signify a change. I'm adding in this instrument right here. I'm going to add in these drums back in right here. Way more risers and sweeps happening now. I made that riser with Serum. I think I also made that riser with Serum. Here's all the sweeps. Another sub drop, a deep impact, another deep impact, another impact. There's another sweep right here. Yeah. The instrumentation. I do that little frequency shift up at the end to kind of make it a little bit more atonal. This is where I start adding in some of the drop sounds. I start hinting at them, honestly, at the beginning. Actually, I start hinting at them at the beginning of the build. I mean, at the breakdown.
It's all a story created by you to keep me here. That's not going to work any longer.
The drums play a really big part in getting this momentum moving as well. Clap, snare, a kick, and another clap being automated. This clap. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm probably gonna scrap this whole first drop and just kind of do this, because this is kind of just like production porn over here. This is just like me being all weird and silly and goofy, and it's not actually like hard hitting. It's just like it was fun to make. But this is like, yeah. This was created with Operator, I believe. This was a hip hop sub bass that I just distorted the fucking cock off of Not even, actually. Wait, hold on. No, it was serum, was it? I was wrong. It was serum. I'm a dumb idiot. I'm a dumb, stupid, idiot person. No, I'm not. It's fine. Super dumb, crazy basic. Look how basic that is. I did nothing to this. You guys seeing this? Look at that. Just look at that. I like doing nothing to serum recently. I like opening serum and then going from there. EQ'd it, compressed it, and literally that's it. There's no way. Where's the distortion happening? Maybe it's that. I don't remember. It's being pushed really hard in some regard. It's up 6. And then I flattened it. I think that's the same thing, but with the saturator turned up. Where the fuck is this shit? Did I delete that layer? I might have. Sad times. It had just like OCT and saturator on it, like exactly what you expected.
Okay, now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I'm gonna do something right quick, y'all. No, close. You can all close. Look how organized I am, guys. So organized. Look how unorganized I am. Go further away. That was terrifying. I'm gonna take you. Oh. I do this so much. You can go away. You can go here. You can go away. Or honestly, I guess we'll do it this way.
Have you ever walked in nature? Have you wait for it?
That was an accident that worked out kind of okay. This one, oh my god. Where is that frequency? And turn it the fuck down. We need another. This is where Soothe would come in handy, but it's fine.
Have you ever walked in nature? Have you wait for it? Of your reality. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Dubstep. Do I normally start with the drop and build from there? Yes. Screensaver was better than the best songs of 2020. It's still early, but I appreciate that you feel that way. Maybe add a long, last distorted bass sound halfway through the second drop? I don't know, man. Did you guys have a counter on the times Grizztronics was played at Lost Lands? I think the final tally was 17 or 18, which is too damn many. I like Grizztronics. I'm proud of that song, and I'm glad we made it. And I love Grant, and I love Grizz, and I had a great time making it. But wow, did it get overplayed. Chakra has subscribed for your honest analysis of your own music. I like this song way better with the drop switched. Bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bing. Bing bong 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 bing 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 bong bing bing. Man, I like one of the hardest things about not playing shows right now is not being able to test songs on crowds. That would be really helpful. And I can't do it. So I have no idea how, like, if these songs go hard live or not. I know my FaceTime is out. I turned it off. And I'm unsure if I can show it on stream, but I err on the side of caution. Yeah. Oh my god, look at this screenshot my photographer friend Seth just sent me. It's Blake from Workaholics and Alice in Wonderland, and it says, Alice in Wonderland Subtronics collab confirmed. It me. Someone got a hidden different tattoo. What tips do I have for layering snares? Let's look at my snares and I'll talk about them. I'm probably gonna jump out of here soon. I'm gonna be real. I need to go buy weed. That's the reason. I'm out. I'm out of weed. Need more. Yep. Concern. Tips for layering snares. Use your ears and do not be afraid to switch your sample if it's really just not working. There's generally 3 parts of every snare. The transient, which is the snappy part. That has a transient. The thumpy part, which is this. So like this be the transient. I mean, it has reverb on it, so that's the thumpy part. Or I don't know, man. Normally there's 3 parts: the transient, the thump, and the decay. And 1 layer is dedicated to each one. But I just fucking experiment with layering things and processing and EQing them. So much of being able to make a good snare or pick a good snare is your ears and just training and practicing and picking out the snares and songs you like and analyzing why you like them. Why do those snares hit better than other snares? Is it that they're coming through the mix cleaner? Is it that they're tuned correctly? Yeah, these transients are bricked as fuck, but get over it, because they're punching through. And honestly, the brunt of this particular clap is being carried by the kick. The transient in this case is from the kick, and most everything is from the kick. This clap is mostly serving to be the decay layer, or the tail layer, because the kick is so short. The kick has like no decay whatsoever, and the only decay it does have is in the low end, which you can't really hear. So all the mids and the highs and the wide stuff is being taken care of the claps. That's mostly like for the in-your-face mono layer. This is the really wide reverb layer, and that's like kind of the tonal pronunciation layer. I made these myself, actually. This was a snare. I made them out of layering a bunch of other sounds from a bunch of different sample packs. Those sample packs are... Hold on one sec. I mean, a lot of these ones. So, like, Kashmir, obviously, but I like Wicked Drum Hits, the decap drums that knock ones. I like Leviathan ones, the Sultan ones, the Medicine drums. The Loud Pack, Sound Pack samples have great claps. I like some Lex Luger things, some of the Script sample pack stuff, some Scope sample pack stuff. I like the Amon Tobin stuff. AU5's got some great drums. Sometimes I layer in just noise or other weird samples that aren't even drums. Sometimes I synthesize them myself. This kick I did synthesize myself with a VST called Kick 2, and then I processed it further with this stuff. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like, Splice has a shitload of good drums on it. It's how you use them. This isn't even all of my shit, dude. Although, there's way more things on here than on my MacBook, which is giving me a concern. I think there's way more. I don't know. I've been getting along fine. Yeah, Kick 2, it's a fucking amazing. I don't have it on my PC, it's on my MacBook, so I can't show it to you guys. But, it's super fucking good. I would strongly recommend it. Anyone who's on the fence about it. I just recently got it. Okay. What's really tight about it is that this right here, you can completely control the tone of the pitch bend, where it pitch bends to, how fast and long it is. It's hard to explain. I'd have to really get in there hands on. I mean, maybe I can just download a demo. I wonder if my license key, I can pull it up in email. Let's fucking cop a demo of Kick 2 and I'll show you guys some stuff. Actually, no, I was gonna end the stream soon. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. All together now. And let's not forget the ghost note. This boy. Right yonder. Look at those lines. Anyway. Look at all these lines. Look how many lines there are. Producing is just a shitload of lines. Any recommendations for Transient Shaper? Kilohertz makes a great one. Same with Sonox. No, so as you can see, the group volumes, I don't even have a soft clipper on the drop group. On a lot of these bass sounds, I have soft clipping. Not on this one. Actually, no, maybe I don't. Maybe on the bassier bass sounds. Yeah, soft clipper here being turned up 12. And like a lot of these lanes, hold on, are turned up 6. Or 0. Sometimes they're turned down. Rarely. This one's turned down 8 right here. I just use my ears, so they all match. Favorite tobacco strain? I don't fucking know, man. I get the joke. See, like, these are turned up too. Everything's just turned up dumb loud. And then on my master, I have G-Clip, and that's it. The individual groups themselves, nay. It is clipping. G-clip is just like a soft clipper, so it's like the same. It's a similar thing to like just doing this. See how it sounds almost no different, but now this is actually no longer clipping. But in some instances it changes it ever so a little bit slightly. The sub better be in mono. Someone asking you if your sub is in mono is like, wow, you fucking... I mean, it is in mono. Because if it wasn't in mono, I'd hear that it was phasing. Yeah, it's a lot of really heavy amounts of compression. And this does sound different with this clipping turned on. But I mean, only in certain spots. Like, it sounds damn near identical over here. think it sounds just a fucking dick hair thinner cleaner without that turned on, which is weird because it's clipping more, but it just sounds a little bit less squashed because it's gonna get squashed. It's just trying to not get it that fucking squashed. So there's no limiter there, but the limiter, I mean, technical limiter is this, but it's more like a clipper. It's not really a limiter, although they do the same thing. How do I deal with overcompression? Turn things down, turn the threshold back up. Turn down. For me, I don't deal with overcompression as much as I'm dealing with oversaturation, and that's just me going back into chains and turning shit down. For me, things get muddy in the upper mids real quick. I'm oftentimes fighting off against that, so I'm oftentimes turning things down in that regard, or dialing back the drive, dialing back the gain, as opposed to just turning it down. Bro, soft clipping instead of using a limiter has been the wave for like 5 years. I guess everyone now is just figuring it out. I'll never forget the first time I saw Virtual Riot's project file and I was like, no way! And he's like, yeah, dude, obviously. And I was like, oh, I feel much better about doing this now. And he's like, yeah, everyone does. We all do it, sorta. They probably do something new and better now. There's a few crazy things. They always have like insane, weird new techniques that they've figured out. I'm pretty behind. Yeah, Virtual Riot is literally a god. Like no one is even remotely close. He's like in a different realm of reality. Is it hard to do a master when I do it this way instead of negative 6 dB? Well, the difference is that it's already mastered. Yeah. Like there is no mastering process because like the idea of the mastering process to master a song is bringing it from its mixdown volume to its final master volume. If your mixdown is already stupid loud, then it's already mastered. For me, if anything, my mastering process is actually bringing it down in volume from where the mixdown originally was. Mastering is so 2015. No, because like people do still master their things a lot of the time, and it does oftentimes kind of sound better, or cleaner. Like I normally don't master my stuff, but I've had a few label releases where they're like, "We're going to master this. Send a pre-master, or else it's not coming out with us." And I was like, "Okay." And then like it actually sounded like better than it made the overall mixdown sound better than how I had it, and I was like, "All right, fine." That was just like one or two cases. I think Hallucination Dub might have been one where they're like, I did my own master, and they're like, let us master it. And then so I turned it down 6 dB and sent them the wave, and they brought it back up. And I think it ultimately sounded just a smidgen cleaner. I think I still played my master, though. Yeah, for me, mastering is like the project file will be clipping by 20 dB, so bring it down to 0, instead of you have 20 dB of headroom, so bring it up to 0. That's the difference in my mastering process, which is basically nothing. I'm just soft clipping it. So do I just release as is after the mixdown for your EP? Pretty much. I listen to it obsessively for a few months at a time, and I'll spend a lot of time playing the song out. When I'm playing songs out, I can constantly tweak and fix and make adjustments to stuff, and I'll know that it's how I want it to sound. I don't really think I'm into selling a project file. Who called me ugly? I think I'm ugly. Sony doesn't.
What? Don't say that.
Doesn't matter to me. Private production lesson, Oh, not me. They weren't calling me ugly, Sonia. I generally like Operator, but some cool shit has happened with Serum. I have straightened my hair before. I love making deep dubstep. I made one the other day, sorta, not really. I don't really use FM8. I have used FM8 in the past, but I don't have it anymore. I would absolutely consider an all-original set in the near future. Do I upload different volumes for streaming websites? I sometimes have. I've done like a SoundCloud version that's super, super loud, and then a playout version that's really clean. I've done it before. I normally don't, but I have done it before. I will gain stage if the mixdown is completely out of control bad. Like, and I get so frustrated, I'll just turn everything all the way down and bring them all up slowly. I've done it before. More oftentimes than not, though, I kind of just go as I gain stage as I go, you know. I'll turn something down if it's way too loud. I'll turn something up if it's way too quiet. Play the deep tune. Hold on. Considering getting a wrapper on that, but I don't want to turn that into a full-blown heavy drop. I like the vibe as it is. That's a super, super mega simple project file. That main is literally just a basic stock wavetable, done nothing to it. I'm just playing those notes, automating a reverb and an auto filter, and an OTT. Super, super simple project file. A lot of the percussion is just loops that I've processed. The drums are mine, but they're literally the same kick from the kick 2 that I played before, just low passed. When I upload my song to SoundCloud, SoundCloud cuts like 3 milliseconds off my song in the start. How do I fix this? SoundCloud does this all the time. You gotta pause your song and physically drag this back to the actual start. And then press play. Do you guys like my thumbnail? Because it's Butters. What are some good songs that I should tell you guys about? I bet this project file was like 4 lanes. I'll never forget when Brandon sent me this and was like, should I do it? And I was like, fuck yes. I forget what the original whip was called. That song is God tier. Also, how cool is this?
Death to all.
Bro, that shit is so good. Yeah, it's fucked up. There's so many up-and-comers who I'm just like, wow, you're better than me. This Flicks tune is sick too. Bro, that sub is outrageous.
Have you ever questioned nature of your wait for it?
Yeah, that sucks. This is not good enough to release that drop. That might be good enough. I don't know. We'll see. This is what I do all day. I just like listen to my own songs and then compare and contrast and compare and contrast. And I'm like, I'm bad. None of this is good enough. But you guys probably all do that too. So we're all in the same boat together. And that's why I'm always saying that I understand what it feels like, because we all go through it. Bro, yeah, AKOS's new EP is so good. Advice for beginner producers is just to never, ever, ever, ever give up and understand that it's going to take a really long time and you just got to grind through a bunch of really terrible songs before they start to get good. Takes a while. I've probably made like 500 some songs in my life, probably more. Probably more than 1,000 now that I think about it. And they didn't start getting good until I was at like song like 500 or 600. And even then, it was like 1 out of every 10 songs was sort of alright. At least 4 or 5 years for me. Took me at least 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. And I still produce all day, every day. Like still, to this day. Like 10, 11 years. Alright, guys. Probably gonna run, because it's like getting late, and I have to walk through the city to go buy weed. Sonny, did you want to come, or am I going by myself?
What?
You want to come buy weed with me, or am I going by myself?
Oh, it's a mission?
You don't have to go if you don't want to.
I would like the air.
You would like the air? You want to go on a walkie, boy?
Maybe.
I'm down.
You're just walking to Mikey's?
Yeah.
Are you gonna like
Don't tell him I'm still live.
Oh. Wait, you're live?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I should probably plan this after I end the stream. Anyway, guys. Thank you for coming. Thursday is going to be production, or it's going to be feedback, demo listen feedback. And then I think I'm going to be playing some video games on Saturday. If that's cool with you guys. I'm either going to play Binding of Isaac. Someone's like, meet up at Mikey's? He's not on social media. Tell him good luck. Fucking, I'll get a roll-one check before I go. I got a roll-one check on Instagram Live earlier. I'm either gonna play Skyrim, Binding of Isaac, or Enter the Gungeon. So let me know which one you guys want me to see me play.
Super Meat Boy.
I'm not good at Super Meat Boy.
I'll play it. I'll Twitch me playing Super Meat Boy.
Do it. You kind of need a PC though. Whirlwind to end the stream. Today's stream was good.
Jesse, are you ready to wake up tomorrow and buy a Snaky Boy?
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned some stuff. If there's anything you guys think I can improve on, let me know. Anything you want to learn specifically, let me know. We can talk about it next week. If you want any specific anything, honestly. I'm here to entertain and teach you guys. So you guys tell me what you want. This is taking too long and I'm upset about it. I think they automatically save. I selected that little checkbox thing so that they do. This is so bad, I'm getting farther away. Someone said I should start an OnlyFans. Sonia, what do you think?
What?
Someone wants me to start an OnlyFans.
Go for it, bro.
I'm like debating switching kendamas, but I've already committed to this one. And I got the other one first try on Instagram. I don't know if anyone saw that. How disappointing. Oh no. Okay. This one is taking a long time. Man. It's the crazy thing about whirlwinds. Like some days you'll get them like first try like a bunch of times, and then other days you just can't you can't lace it. Oh, I thought that one was good. I thought that one was good. I knew that one was bad. knew that one was bad too. I'm getting worried how long this is taking. It's like when I get it, I'm not even going to be excited. I'm going to be mad it took as long as it did. Okay. Enough of this shit. Using my knees. Play some songs and try. I'll get it as soon as I fucking start the music, probably. Yo, I'm literally nearing seppuku hours. I still haven't gotten this. I'm not ending the stream until I get this whirlwind. I cannot believe it's taken me this long. What the fuck even was that? Okay, here we go. Fucking whirlwind check. This is bullshit. Switching kendamas. Nope. This try. Just kidding. This try. Just kidding. This try. Just kidding. It literally jumped off the spike. I can't get spikes anymore. My hands are broken. I don't know how to kendama. Everything's done. Oh my god. Okay, this is what I get for getting a whirlwind first try on Instagram Live earlier. Now it's trying to rip my fingers off. Unbelievable. This hurts to watch, dude. It's bad. I have to get out of it. What happened? My brain broke. Behold, the worst whirlwind ever happened. I can't believe this is still going. I 24-hour live stream. This is fucking crazy. It just won't happen. It's like it's been blocked out of my brain. Sonia, I can't whirlwind anymore.
You.
It's completely gone.
Oh.
This is what writer's block feels like. Literally. It's like, this is so easy. I've done this a million times. Why can't I do it at all today? Like, at all. It's 100% mental. Okay. Unbelievable. Thank you, fucking God. Jesus. I need to get another. See, okay. It just like, it puts a wall in your brain and it like blocks it out for a second and then you get re-honed and you can do it again. That's like the best example of kendama bullshit that just happened. I'm really glad that that happened on live stream for you guys to see. Sometimes whirlwinds just take for fucking ever for no reason at all. And then you jump back in it and you can lace again. I was gonna stop live streaming and then I started playing kendama. Lunar flip. Can I get a lunar flip on the stream? See if we can get a lunar flip real quick. 2 whirlwinds and a lunar flip. A UFO. Alright, I'll get a UFO. Can't even get an airplane. Stump plane. And then I need to go buy weed for real. I'll get it. Oh man. Trying a UFO. Yeah, here we go again. Oh. Twice I got it in. Three times I got it in and fell out. Yeah. Alright. I'll see you guys.